Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Once again, it's your boy Emilio Wegbar. And I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into tonight's presentation as EJP Entertainment presents the Artist Spotlight. You already know what it is. We at the point of our show where we are joined by tonight's special guest. But before we do so, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go follow us on IG at EJP_Entertainment to stay up to date with everything related to EJP Entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's your boy Emilio Wegbar back at it once again. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out of your schedule to tune in here to our presentation tonight. And if you haven't done so yet, please make sure you are following us on IG at EJP_Entertainment to stay up to date with everything related to EJP Entertainment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the point of our show where we are joined by our special guest. And here on the line with me right now, I have the three members of the group from out of New Jersey, goes by the name of the Underdogs. Please help me welcome to the show Lady Ink, Raphael, and Butter. What's good? How y'all doing? Welcome to the show, the Underdogs, ladies and gentlemen. What's good?
I appreciate it.
We're happy to be here. We're happy to be talking to you. We're happy to be able to use your platform and you know, talk about our music and promote our music. It's a great blessing.
Yeah, and we appreciate you having us, and we look forward to the questions and answer them to the best of our capability.
The pleasure's all mine, and once again, I want to say thank you to the three of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to call in here, you know, and come share your experience and your stories with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are across the bridge here tonight. We are rocking out in the Garden State. We got New Jersey in the house, so you know, this is the part of the the segment where we like to open up, giving our guests the opportunity to tell the audience a little bit about themselves. So if you would, anyone, whoever like to start, the floor is all yours.
Sure. So the Underdogs was created about 3 years ago. Me and Raphael had met over Instagram, and we're both artists, and so we were looking to collab. And
my cousin Butter put me on to her. They went to school and I'm glad to be known.
Yeah, told Raphael about me, and he told them that I was good, I was serious about my music, and he had just came to Jersey, and he started a big buzz in Jersey about himself. Mm-hmm. And so that's what encouraged me to work with him, because I'm serious about my music and I have a big respect for the craft. And I just kind of have that standard where it's like, if I don't feel like you could match me on a record, or you could kind of match the energy I'm going to put behind the record and promoting it and things of that nature, then I just don't want to, spend my time working with you, because a lot of people just do it as like whatever, like an outlet, and that's totally cool. But I kind of hold a different standard to it. And so, he created a buzz out here for himself, and his music was really good. And so I was with it. I was like, yeah, let's work. And so I ended up sending him a beat from the Beat Plug. And he was like, no, fuck with that beat. It's like, okay, but I have a vision for it, so whatever, I'm going to write to it anyways. And I'm going to send it to you, and if you don't like it, whatever, you don't got to be on it. So I ended up writing my verse, right? Yeah, I wrote my verse that was Like You.
That's the name of the song, Like You, number 3 on the album that we just dropped.
Yeah, so that's on the album that we just dropped on the first installment. And I showed him my verse, and he was like, oh, shit, like, I ain't like that beat, but I like what you did to it. And so he ended up doing the hook. And when we went in the studio to record it, we were there with all our friends, and they just loved it. They was like, yo, we got
murdered it.
Yeah. And we was like, yo, we got that. So we kind of decided from there to build on that energy and, give it our 100%, because we knew that we had something. And then we ended up we did like a few more records, and then we put Butter on a record, and then we was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the big three.
The big three. The big three. But what was so special about our records was that we all approached it so differently, but it worked, and like it all went together really well. And we was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And you know, we also didn't have to like guide each other so much, where we sat to do a record and we was like, oh, approach it this way or flow this way. Like we literally just had the beat, wrote to it on our own time, came in the studio, dropped it, and we was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, you would think that we sat up in the studio and wrote it together, and we didn't. Never.
Emilio, it was magical.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah, so that's how the Underdogs was born.
Yeah, man. Like I said, my cousin, I've been doing music for 20 years. I was doing music when I was 13 years old, going into the studio. And I'm like, I'm a master this craft. I'm a sacrifice going to the club. I'm not out here trying to chase girls. My focus was I was like in the studio like it was the gym, like religious. So now we're at a point where we're unstoppable. The records are hits after hits after hits. We got too much staying in the game right now because we've done it for so long that I feel like we've mastered the musical craft of creating hit records. And I feel like we're at a stage where we just want to exploit it to the world, and God willing, they're receptive to, you know, the quality and the standard that we put forth when it comes to these songs. And I think, like I said, I think it's great because we're learning each other through music. And like I said, it's definitely a magical experience. Like I said, I can't explain it. I love it. I've been doing it for so long by myself that I feel like all I needed was a squad, like in a team that's this talented. Lady Ink kills every record. Like you heard from the beginning, she set a high standard when it comes to who she deals with musically, and to be able to her say that I met that standard, that makes me feel great. It makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to what I do. So, like I said, and then like I said, my cousin Bud is a beast. He don't talk too much. You don't hear him too much right here. But he's the enforcer of the squad, and he don't play no games when it comes to these songs. So
Yeah.
I feel it love. Yeah, he's like he's a musical guru. He knows the culture like the back of his hand.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah.
You know what that sounds like to me? It kind of sounds like, you know, a little bit reminiscent of the story of how Wu-Tang came together. For those of you that watch, you know, American Saga, how they was talking about how everybody came together, how everybody brought something different to the table. That's what I get when I hear you guys. So like, what is your, you know, chemistry like off, you know, records, like outside of the studio? Do you guys always hang out together, or like how do you guys work it?
All the time. I mean, we're always in the studio, so we're always doing. Let's see, we do everything in-house. Video production is in-house. We're very hands-on with that aspect of it. I don't know if you saw our music videos. We just dropped recently 2 crazy music videos, and we do that all ourselves. You know, we get the equipment, we get stuff going, and we do everything in-house. We have in-house production, in-house producers. And that's how we spend our quality time. This is how we bond. This is what we do.
For sure.
But aside from that, we do work 9 to 5. We're heavy in real estate. Lady Ink is heavy in the real estate world. I'm a bank processing analyst for banks around the world, but I work from home. So that's my day job. Aside from that, you know, but for the most part, like we're working class heroes. That's what the podcast is saying right now. You know
Nah. I died when I read that. I was like, wow. I died when I read that. Yo, I was like, working class heroes.
We're really grinding and we're working.
Yeah, they're gonna make a comic book about us. I'm telling you.
Yo, Emilio, you said that we're like the Wu-Tang because those guys are legendary.
Oh my God, yes. Like, woo, that was crazy. But yeah, we definitely, like, you know, relate to each other and bond off the fact that we give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really do care. Like I always say, like, we willing to put the hours in with no pay. We willing to sacrifice. We willing to be patient. We really, really willing to learn and give it our best. And, you know, it's hard to find people like that. That's, you know, that's 1 in a million. And, you know, you find people like that and you like, damn, you automatically bond.
Yeah,
Now, you know, being that all 3 of you came together, you know, it was, you know, some of you known each other, you know, prior to that, and then, you know, you and Butter Raphael, y'all related, and then, you know, also Butter knew Lady Ink, you know, prior to, you know, the group forming and everything. When you first got together and started working on music together, was there any kind of issues you had with working with each other at first, or did it all just click right at the beginning?
Not at all. We pretty much clicked and just started
going consistently almost every day.
Yeah.
For like 3 years. Yeah.
3 years straight, yeah.
Non-stop, yeah. Like I said, we all have our individual stories, which makes the records even more appealing. You know, we all, you know, from a female's perspective, you know, we're very transparent when it comes to these songs and our records. And I feel like everybody got their own journey. So when you express yourself that way on record, it resonates in a different fashion, you know. So I feel like that's special. And I feel like we've been wanting to hone in on that special element of ours since we figured out that we had that chemistry together. We don't really want to stop. It's like it feels like therapeutic, you know. It's like self-counseling. So I feel like we never had no problem. It's family at this point in time. It's like we just got to keep going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of history. I mean, before we met up about the music, there wasn't that much history between the three of us. No, prior to that.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like a clean foundation to build on. So it did really work out great.
That's good. And, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, I asked that question because, you know, it's not always, you know, a good start when, you know, you have, you know, creative minds coming together collectively to, you know, form a group and all that good stuff. So, you know, I asked that question. So who came up with the name Underdogs?
Me and Lady Ink.
Yeah, so honestly, we didn't even come up with the name. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it just made sense because when we decided to really pursue the music, I stressed to the team the importance of branding and having a story and having a logo and just building a business around our talent. And so I was like, you know, I want our business to feed off of our reality. Like, I don't want to fight our reality. Like, I wanted to inspire people. And so I wanted the company brand and the company name to be very relatable, especially because I strive to go global with my music. And I was like, well, if I want to go global, I have to reach people internationally. I have to be able to reach young people, old people, wealthy people, poor people. And what do all these people have in common? They've all been an underdog at some point of their life, whether it be, you know, in their career or hobby. You always start somewhere. And so being an underdog isn't a stage of life that you can escape, but still a lot of people try to deny it or reject it, or they're ashamed of it, and they're not able to talk about their underdog stage until they've made it. You know, they make it and they're like, well, it was tough. Well, why wasn't you making it seem like it was tough? Because you made it seem real easy, and then you talked about it later.
People don't glorify the journey.
Right.
They like to
not until they make it.
Yeah, they like to emulate the end result.
Right. And then later on, they'll be like, yeah, I'm rich and famous, but it was tough. Like, it ain't look like it, you know. Was bad.
And us being Spanish, we come from nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From third world countries, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. So we know what it is to come from nothing and have, you know, people starving. Like, we're blessed to be in America, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
compared
it's like where our families come from and the struggle that they had to come for, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we embrace being underdogs. We make that hip, we make that cool. I feel like the culture needs that. I feel like right now the culture is plagued with a lot of fakeness in the industry. I think that we need a culture shift at this point in time, and that's what we're trying to do as underdogs.
So when we decided on that for the brand, you know, when we decided to drop, you know, as a group, it was kind of obvious at that point because we created Underdog 360 before we really even created the group. Like, we knew that eventually we wanted to drop as 3 artists, but we didn't iron out the details. Like, we didn't have no name. We didn't have any. We just knew that's what we wanted to eventually do. And we knew that we needed to build a brand around that. Right. And so we created Underdog 360. We got some merch out. We got sneakers. And then, you know, we're like, okay, we're going to drop our music now. What's going to be our name? Oh, the Underdogs. That's...
I like that. I really do. And I like that because, like you guys said, you know, we always, you know, want to glorify, you know, the end result. We want to see what we see on social media where it looks like everybody's living their best lives and nobody really wants to show the struggle parts of it. And with that being said, you know, the fact that you came up with the name Underdogs and that you're showing people that, you know, you guys basically came from nothing and here you are now today working with everything that you have within your own, you know, grasp and everything, and here you are. I think that's something, like you guys said, that's something that needs to be glorified a lot more and show people out there that everything is not all, you know, peaches and cream and roses and all that stuff at the beginning. You got to go through a process in order to get that end result that you're working for, and I think we need to see more of that.
For sure. Yeah.
That's what the game's been missing.
Yeah.
Underdogs.
Absolutely. So
I
now,
mean, not, you know, someone, when we first dropped, you know, a few blogs posted us and somebody commented something about us being at the bottom, and I had to reply, and I was like, yeah, we at the bottom and we still at the bottom. Like, so what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that's the reality of it. You know, it's like, we started from the bottom, still at the bottom, but not forever. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be okay with that.
Yeah, be okay with that. Embrace it.
oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Raphael, my fault.
No, I said that you got to embrace those challenges. That's what builds character. That's what builds the passion behind the music.
Yeah.
When it's real, authentic.
I totally agree with that one. And what has the transition been for you guys from the 3 years that the 3 years ago that you guys started up until now? Because I know, you know, we went through a lot over the last few years, you know, and for you guys to come together within a short time period and sound so much like you guys been together for years, like, how has that been for you guys, you know, being able to work with one another with all of the craziness that was going on the last few years?
So, okay, so the pandemic was really crazy because it literally happened in the midst of us creating everything. And so, honestly, it showed us like who was willing to risk it all, because a lot of people, because, you know, as always, you start with like a big team and then people just start dropping like flies. And so when the pandemic happened, it was like, okay, but we had this plan, and so it's like, are you gonna stick it through or not? And the three of us and two of our engineers, like, we was willing to risk it all. Like, I had sent him a suit on Amazon, like a space suit. I was like, look, I'll come to the studio in a space suit. We're gonna make this happen. Like, we're not stopping. And so what happened during that time, I don't know if you can recall, but a lot of artists were dropping at that time, right? Because they were like, everybody's home, flood the timeline, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, nah, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go silent. And while people are being overwhelmed with new content, we're going to be in the cut. They're not even going to know about us. And so during that time, we just, like I said, we risked it all, even when it was really scary, even when it was like, yo, we could fucking die. You know what I'm saying? We still together. We still made the music. Yeah, like our engineer was like, my mom is old, but, you know, we gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was out here risking it all. Yeah.
A lot of what's it called, the hand sanitizers.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God, we would walk in and we would wipe the bottom of our shoes.
Oh, yeah, wow.
People were saying that was in the sidewalk, we were stepping on COVID, bringing it into the house. People stepping up, that, you know, we were scared.
It's everywhere, yeah.
We still had to make these hit records, go to the studio, put in that work.
We had to make it happen. Yeah, we couldn't stop. We couldn't.
I respect that. Definitely, I respect that, man. That you guys that you was so willing and so determined to, you know, be successful, that you was willing to, you know, take a risk. You know, a lot of people back at that time, they were scared to risk doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you guys had the courage to go out there and still continue to, you know, pursue your dreams, even while the whole entire world was shut down, that has to be commended. No matter how anybody looks at it, that has to be commended for the fact that you guys had the courage to go and do that.
We appreciate it.
No doubt, man. So how has all of that, you know, perseverance played off for you guys now to where you are in this point in your careers?
So now, since, you know, we did all that, we stayed true to our vision and our beliefs, now we're capable of dropping music consistently for the next 3 years, and we're still making music now. Like, we got asked before, like, oh, how are you gonna pull this off? And it's like, well, our first installment, these are records that we wrote, like we said, like you, that was 3 years ago, and these records have proven to be timeless because we wrote them years ago, but they still hit today. And that was a big concern on our team, where it was like, when we recorded Like You, there was like, nah, you got to drop it now. This is amazing. This is all I listen to right now. And I'm like, nah, we got to hold off on dropping the music. We got to build a brand. We got to get industry quality music before we drop, I got to do all this. And they're like, yeah, but is it still going to pop?
Just like,
you know what I mean? Like, is it still going to hit?
People think that songs can get dated. Like, you know what I'm saying? The sound.
Yeah, for sure. But since our music is so natural to us and original, like, we weren't following trends. If we were following trends at that time, our music would flop today. I mean, it wouldn't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because that's only 3 years ago, but everything we've been through, that's like a decade ago.
Oh, yeah.
Things are very different.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and so that's why I feel like, we're able to pull it off.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if you've heard the project, but you should definitely catch up to the project we just dropped and listen to it, and you'll understand. You'll have a deeper meaning in regards to how we approach records and how timeless they are. Very commercial, like the hooks. I'm very good at catchy commercial hooks. That's what I thrive on, and I feel like I'm only getting better the more I do it. And I feel like all of my team, the Underdogs, Lady Ink and Butter, they keep me sharp. Like, they come with concepts that inspire me. Like Lady Ink said in the beginning, the song she sent me, I didn't like it, but what she did to it inspired me to do what I had to do to it. You know what I'm saying? To make it great. Yeah. And I feel like when we come together like this on records all the time, so consistent, it's like, and we come out, it's like, I get goosebumps. Like, I'm like, did we just do this? Like, I get goosebumps every time we come out the studio because it's a hit after hit after hit. I feel like once we get into this industry, it's going to be a problem. There's not going to be a lot of breathing space for these artists. I feel like we coming for their heads.
I hear that. By the time, and the way it sounds like right now, when you listen to a lot of the music that's out there, it sounds like a lot of these guys is going to run out of material when it's all said and done, because so many people was in this mindset of just the moment you go and make a song, go ahead and put it out immediately instead of giving it a time to let some other music that you have out there already get around and make its waves and stuff like that. These people just keep dropping song after song, and it's like eventually they're going to either run out of music or they're going to run out of creativity, whenever happens first. So the ones that don't focus on quantity and focus more so on quality, I tend to respect a lot more than the other ones.
Facts. But like I said, a lot of these artists these days, they're just chasing trends.
Yeah,
they're trying to keep up with what's working. Yeah. They're not true to themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to jump into other people's identity instead of embracing who they are and doing and creating and cultivating their own sound. Yeah. And that's the problem. They're gonna keep their own music out, trying to figure out who they are, while we know over here who we are, and we're going to keep doing quality and quantity. But because we're getting better and honing in on our craft. But
and really just staying true to our vision, because there's a lot of people that would tell us, like, drill music, drill rap is popping right now. You have to drop a drill record. And it's like, nah, we doing what we do best.
Yeah, creative sound. Like I said, everybody.
We could do that if we wanted to, though.
Yeah, we're very diverse. We can do anything to any type of beat. I feel like that's what makes us special.
Yeah,
we can't really box us in, but we definitely have commercial appeal. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to what we do. And the music is catchy. Little kids are singing it as much as adults.
Yeah.
The hooks are catchy. The bars are crazy. We're very lyrical driven artists too. So like. That's how we approach songs. That's what makes it special, in my opinion. We're constantly challenging ourselves.
Yeah, for
all
sure.
the time.
Much respect to that. And what we had made mention earlier, about the album that you guys have out right now, Who Let the Dogs Out. So let's get into that one. And with that being said, like, what has been the response that you have gotten thus far? Is it out there available right now for people to listen to?
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
On iTunes, on Spotify, you just have to type in The Underdogs, and it'll pull up. You can put The Underdogs, The Lady Ink, or the Underdogs Raphael, because sometimes I believe there's another group called the Underdogs, and sometimes they pull up as well. But for the most part, and you can check out our links on www.underdog360.com. All our links are there to find us directly. Yeah. But yeah, the first installment is out right now with 9 songs, 10 including the intro, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, every single song is crazy. I feel like every single song is a hit. You know, a lot of artists, they make 2 or 3 hits out of a whole project. I feel like every single song is special, and it's a hit record in my opinion. But like I said, we have like 3-4 albums already recorded.
Wow.
At this point in time. So it's like we're ahead of the game right now.
And we also have solo, like I have a solo project called 1993 Ran. He got a solo project called Popular Nobody Ran. And I told him, I was like, look, if we ever low on the Underdog records, we just going to take some from our solo project and we're going to throw butter on and we good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got too many, bro.
To the point, you know, if we too busy doing shows and shit, we can't really, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
people are catching up at this point. People are always going to be catching up while we're just chasing our next hit.
I think also what makes it different too is that, you know, like you said, a lot of artists would just, you know, drop a lot of records and hope for the best. Mm-hmm. But are they still growing as an artist? Are they still writing music? Are they still inspired? Mm-hmm. I strive for my team to not become complacent. Like, recently we were in the studio a couple nights ago, dropping a new record, all in-house from our producer, beat from scratch type shit. And that night that we was in the studio a couple nights ago, that was the first time in 3 years that we hadn't recorded something in like a few weeks. Like, it had been 2 months that we was in the studio recording anything in 3 years because we was working on the videos. And so I was like, wow, like that was a crazy realization. You know what I mean? Because I looked at the dates and I looked at the timing and I'm just like, yo, it's been 2 months since we recorded a record. That's the longest time we ever got in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's wild. But, you know, if you're not on top of your shit, you're going to fall off and you're not going to hold yourself accountable. So, like, Butter always says, like, I'll say, like, after our music videos, I'll be like, we did it. And Butter will be like, never satisfied. And I'm like, yeah, like, we got to keep going. So that's really, yeah, like, even when we top in charts and stuff like that, at the end of the day, like, I really want my team to just keep growing as artists and just keep doing the damn thing, no matter where we end up.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts. We're entrepreneurs. At the end of the day, we want to just live up to our expectations. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt about that one. Huh?
Keep being the best.
Absolutely. Now, with that being said, it sounds like you guys are, you know, the three of you are all studio junkies. Like, you just stay and live in the studio, and that's really good. So, like,
it sounds like that, right?
Yeah.
That's like, it's not even it. Like,
we make appointments. We make appointments.
Yeah, like we ain't really living in that shit. You know, it might sound like that in our inventory. It might come across that way. We're just very good at managing our time and yeah, making it a priority. But, you know, like, we got other lives. Like, that's why we the Underdogs, because we got to maintain. You know what I'm saying?
We got to pay bills.
Hey,
we
trust
out
me.
here scamming and shit, you know? Like,
I feel you on that one.
We out here scamming nobody. We making it
professional.
Yeah, we professional.
I hear that. I'm the same way. I'm a radio show host at night, and during the day I work a 9 to 5 just like the rest of them. So I completely get it.
Exactly.
You an underdog. You're an
underdog.
Absolutely. Y'all gotta send me a shirt and make me an honorary member of the Underdogs.
Yeah. You know what I call that?
What's that?
I call that living in the in-between. We, you know, in Stranger Things, they got the upside down. We living in the in-between. Like, we doing, you know, we pursuing our dreams and we live in real life, you know, and not a lot of people could juggle that. Not a lot of people could do that.
Absolutely.
Listen, Lady Ink is a creative genius. Listen to this. We created a sneaker now that got an Italian manufacturer making our sneakers in Italy. Underdog 360 sneakers with Italian suede. So if you go to the website, you see that these things look better. They are better made, more better quality than Nike. I shouldn't be shitting on Nike or on the limit because we want to collab.
Yo, can you cut that out?
We want to collab with them.
Hey, yo, Nike.
And I'm not hating on Nike.
Nike
We rock Nike.
Underdogs.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, listen, we're gonna give Nike a run for their money
We gonna be bigger.
because the sneaker is fire. You gotta check it out. It's insane. And
They making shit with plastic.
in Italy, you know, Nike makes things with plastic. You know what I'm saying? So we got Italian way.
We got fucked up our girls.
So when it comes to your merchandise, like where can people go to actually check out your fashion? That was one thing I wanted to ask you guys about as well, is the fact that, you know, not only do you all get together and make music, and then you also got your, you know, your lives outside of the music industry and all that stuff, but, you know, also with the fashion, like the merchandise game, like how's that been for you guys?
It's been tough because we're doing, like I said, we do everything ourselves. Like everything is in-house. We wear all the hats. So, you know, I'm here punching the gun on the tags of the clothes and, you know, boxing everything and doing everything. But, you know, that makes it, I try to, like I said, make light of the situation by personalizing it because I feel like it's a special moment in time. Like, yeah, it's going to be cool when we get to the point where people are manufacturing it and it's on autopilot. But as of this moment, I'm the one boxing it. I'm the one tagging it. I'm the one sending it out. And I like to make that known. Like, I like to write a little note to whoever I'm sending it to. I'll spray my perfume on it so that it smells like me, you know, because it's a moment in time that's not going to exist again. Like, at some point, I am going to have the manufacturing. I am going to have people doing that. And so, you know, as of now, I'm doing everything, but I am making the most out of the situation by giving people something special.
Right.
I like that. I like that answer right there. And Lady Ink, let me ask you, you know, being that you wear so many hats, you know, with, you know, everything that you do with the Underdogs, everything that you do with your own, you know, businesses that you have outside of that, and also with the, you know, the merchandising and everything that you have as far as that aspect is concerned, like, what do you do to actually, you know, take a break when you want to just, you know, get away from everything for a minute?
I like to relax by taking like a bubble bath, going out to eat. I enjoy hikes. Yeah, I like to go on hikes. I like to spend time with my kids mostly. That's really what I feel like kind of puts me away from everything. But I'm a realtor, so I work around the clock regardless. So I kind of, you know, I'm kind of at that point in life where I'm grinding so hard, I rarely get a break. But I'm okay with it because I know, you know, it's part of this moment in time.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Raphael? Like, what do you guys do to take a break from the music and everything else that you're doing? I hear that.
Listen, man. Like I said, I'm a bank processing analyst for banks around the world. So I've been doing bank work for 10 years. So I'm always working my 9 to 5. But outside of work, listen, work to me. If you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. Like I said, I put 20 years into this industry. I've sacrificed clubs. I've sacrificed my social life to master music. Because, like I said, you only live once, and God gave me this gift. So it's like I have to live in my purpose, and I feel like that's fun for me. So as far as leisure, working is my leisure and being great. Because, like I said, life is too short, and a lot of people feel like they have forever. And like I said, in a blink of this pandemic has taught us anything, is that anybody is receptive to, you know, to passing away at any given moment in time. So like, you got to really live in your purpose and be great, and you know, cherish these moments, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we all going to the same place, the afterlife, and it's like we have to enjoy, we have to live life like there is no other life or afterlife here, and, you know, leave it all on the table. So yeah, music is what I love to do, so that's what I do for my leisure.
That's what's up.
But I like going to the gym. Oh, yes, me too. I do that. He takes back me all the time.
Shit, I need to get back into the gym or do something, you know. But that's what's up, dog. But with that being said, before we get ready to wrap everything up, once it's all said and done for the three of you, in the music industry or whatever other goals that you have for yourself in life, what do you hope to have accomplished once it's all said and done? When you look back, what do you want to be able to say, damn, I actually did that?
I want to be able to just reach the masses and create a better perspective for people like us and give back to the communities. Yeah, give a better perspective to the underdogs and to the minorities, because we've been, how can I say, like kind of shelved for so long. And in the minority community, we have so much talent, creativity, and I really just want to reach all those people who are in that place in their life where they're like, can I do this? Should I do this? How can I do this? I want to reach those people where it's like, wow, they was low on resource. They was, they came from nothing and look what they built. I think that even though people have seen that happen a million times before, I don't think that they've seen it exemplified the right way. And so it's still hard to believe that you can do it. And so I think that just having that perspective shifted a little bit for people to be more hopeful and more confident in themselves, I would really feel like I made it. To see Underdog huge, to see our music global, to reach those masses, that would definitely, I'm going to get to that point where I'm like, yeah, we did it. I knew it.
Right. Some Grammys and some plaques on the wall. That's what I can't wait. I'm excited for that, to be acknowledgement from the industry that we are the best because we put in the work, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, once we get to the place where we have everything, I want to be able to give back. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to, give back to the less fortunate people that are in tougher positions and just give back to the communities and just be influential in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Like helping, just because a wise man once said, you can't help the poor if you're one of them. So why not just get to where you need to be and be able to get back? Because at the end of the day, that's what's fulfilling, when you can change other people's lives. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Instead of yourselves all the time. A lot of people is about me. Nah, you need to really, of course, it's a journey. It's you versus you when it comes to any challenges you have to deal with in life in general. The person in the mirror you're trying to be better than, not everybody else. Everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses, you know what I'm saying? But you got to really become the person you're supposed to be. And then at the end of the day, it's all about giving back once you're at the top, you know what I'm saying? Because once you fall, the same people that are all the way at the bottom, that's who's going to be there, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you just want to be able to get to a point where you've done what you needed to do to be great and give back.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Those are great answers, folks. I definitely do appreciate it, man. And, I definitely appreciate the three of you for taking the time out of your schedules to call in here and to share your experience and your story with us. It's almost a shame that we have a time limit. I could sit here and have a conversation with you all for hours, and all that good stuff. But I'm sorry.
It was really good interview, really dope.
I said yes.
No problem. So before we get ready to, wrap everything up, I always like to ask, the artists, the guests, everybody that comes in on this platform, for the listeners out there that's listening right now that would like to reach out to you, other platforms that may be listening right now that would love to have you, the three of you, on their platforms, or even for like if you have shows or anything like that coming up, where can they, where can people get in contact with you to, hear your music, follow you, and all that good stuff?
So they can find us on Instagram at 360 Underdog, 360 Underdog. All of our handles are there. Lady Ink is straight out of Jersey. Butter's King Bull Hell Butter. Raphael's the real Raphael. Of course, our website, which is underdog360.com. Don't get it confused. Our Instagram is 360 Underdog because for some reason Instagram won't give us Underdog 360 even though it doesn't exist. I don't know. They got to fix that. We're going to let them know. But yeah, that's where we could be reached. All our merch is there. The links to our music, our videos, all that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And for everybody else out there that's tuned in and listening right now, make sure y'all keep it locked right here, because y'all know the saying, Don't talk about it, be about it. And up next, we got the we got the brand new single from the Underdogs, Be About It, coming at your way right next. So ladies and gentlemen, be sure to keep it locked right here. We'll be back with much more right after this.
Gotta tell it how it is. Please don't get up in your feels about it. Automatic, we the go. You don't even gotta think about it. It's time to lock and load. It's so stuck, won't hear a thing about it. Most of y'all won't even be about it. Be about it, won't see about it.
I ain't ever blew it, see, cause all I know is do it. While the sickly bitches boo it, see, I always fucking knew it. Trying me is fucking stupid. Everything I got exclusive, bought the coupe so I could soup it. Pussy fire, lighter fluid, yeah. Lady ink is bout it. Dripper got a nigga drowning. If you hating, you just counting, or your brain must have an outage. Underdog ever hoe, we that type click. I ain't never letting go, he got that type dick.
Gotta tell it how it is. Please don't get up in your feels about it. Automatic, we the go. You don't even gotta think about it. It's time to lock and load. It's so stuck, won't hear a thing about it. Most of y'all won't even be about it. Be about it, won't see about it. All black, everything. I'm that type sinner. Never lost anything. I'm that type winner. Lobster feast, chicken wings. Pick your type dinner. Summertime, anytime. I replace winters. If you hate anything about me, you's bitter. When it's all said and done, I ain't no quitter. Haters die any day. Blame it on Tinder. MMA the pussy niggas call me style bender. I done said enough, but people still want me to speak upon it. Since they pay to hear my voice, just put a fire beat upon it. I don't do the drugs, but the vibes gon' make them lean upon it. We the main events, we gotta show there's several seats around here. Tell it how it is. Please don't get up in your feels about it. Automatic, we the go. You don't even gotta think about it. It's time to lock and load. It's so stuff, won't hear a thing about it. Most of y'all won't even be about it. Be about it, won't see about it.
B-U-double-T-A running. All I do is get checks and count hundreds. They hate to see us in the spot, Underdogs stunting. Run the fade, damn bitch, you ain't bout nothing.